Hello again. I'm here with my third part of my videos about Git and the Git Cheat, and I would like to continue what we have started following the Git cheat sheet. So the next part is about branching. Before I start, I would like to give you some hint at what does this branch mean. So we have in our book 3 chapters here, and let's say that we would like to start with working only on chapter 1. So maybe we can say that, okay, I will start a branch of my versioning approach. So I have I would like to have 2 branches of my versioning. In one of the versions, I would like to, what does it do? I would like to focus on working on the chapter 1, but I am not sure. Maybe sometimes I would like to, I'm tired of chapter 1 and I would like to work on chapter 2. And just to make sure that they are not, I'm not mixing them, or I somehow losing some track of some of them and so on, I would like to separate them. So separate working on chapter 1 and chapter 2. This is one very simple and maybe stupid approach which came to my mind for now for defining the branches. In a more advanced approaches that maybe you would like to only, let's say that you are developing some codes and then you wanted to work on one bug which you have detected. So we would like to do that, but you would like not to touch the main things, and then you wanted to work on the in parallel to the main version that you have on your debugging, or you wanted to try some new thing in your scripts, and then so you need to have a new branch which would be different from the first version, because then you will need to do some editing and so on, and every time you may somehow make the whole script not working anytime, so you do not want to touch the main thing. So what I would like to do right now is that I would like to generate 2 branches. For example, let's say I would like to have a branch for chapter 1, one branch for chapter 2, and then let's say that we would like to work on the chapter 1 in each chapter on their branches, and at the end, let's say that we are finished working on the chapter 1 and chapter 2, and then we would like to combine them and then have them all together in our final version. So let's start with that, and the first step according to our Git cheat sheet is that to have a branch. So let's start with starting some branch. So Git branch gives you basically the list of the branches which are available. This is the master, which you remember from the last video. I also showed you that in Git status it says that in which branch we are, in the branch master. So when we look at the Git status, in the beginning it says that on branch master. So we are on the branch master, and normally this is the main master, or previously they call it main or some other names. But anyhow, the main thing is that this is the main version. If you wanted to somehow not touch this, then you need to generate a new new branch. So let's go for the generating 2 branches. Branch 1 would be the chapter 1, and then I would like to have another branch which is chapter 2. So again, let's look at the branch. You see that the master, which has also the star, it has the main master and the main branch, and there are 2 other branches. You see that I have here also possibility to choose that in which branch I am, and we will see that when we change to another branches, how does it change. So the next one is that the git checkout, I would not go there, and also git merge, I would not go there. Git log, I have tried before. I would like to go to maybe to try to yeah, I think this is not here. Maybe then before we go to the checkout, we go to switch between the branches. First of all, before I switch, I would like to say that when we generate these branches, chapter 1 and chapter 2, they are basically a copy of the master in this status that they have right now. Whatever you change right now, because you are in the master branch, it will be staying in the master branch. So then the chapter 1 and chapter 2 will not see it anymore, because we already have the copy of the status before the changes. So this is basically the main concept of this versioning. So let's say first we wanted to go to another branch. The command for this is called switch. So git switch, and then you say that chapter 1, for example. So you see that this here is changed, chapter 1. Now I am chapter 1, and git status also gives me that on branch chapter 1 there is nothing to commit and so on. So let's say here is the folder that I had. Now I would like to maybe that's not a good idea to add another file here because I wanted to work on chapter 1. So let's say that in chapter 1 I have the third line, and maybe I also would like to add a subchapter file. So I would call it chapter 1-1.txt. So this is a subchapter of the chapter 1, and you see that I have it here 1-1. So this is what I would like to add here. Let's say again, git status tells us, okay, what are the files which are modified, what are the new files, and I git add all of them, and I git commit, and my message is that the first commit in chapter 1 branch added subchapter file 1.1. That's it. I mean, just I wanted to add something, and now git status gives me nothing's changed. So I did something wrong, but anyhow, it's nothing to change here. So this is what I have done in chapter 1. Let's go to the chapter 2. So I will git switch to chapter 2. Again, you see that something has happened interestingly, and I would like to pause and a little think about it. So we are now in chapter 2. Here in the chapter 2 we don't see anymore the file 1-1 which we have generated in the chapter 1 branch. So what does it mean? As I said, we have now 3 different branches, and each branch can be developed separately without any relation to each other, and that's the main thing that we are doing here. So for example, in chapter 2 also I will generate another file which I call it the subchapter 2. So I would call it to1 text here, and I will not go that, so it's just you already know it. So I will add it, and then I will commit it. So first commit in chapter 2 branch added the subchapter file 2-1, and I think it's everything clear. Now let's go to the switch to the master branch. Again, here is nothing here. So the interesting thing is that you don't see that here. The only thing is that you should know that which branch you are, and then you can see the files which are relevant for each of these branches. And then this is very clean, because then you will not mix the files together and so on. This is very, very nice. You should believe me right now. There is no other way until that you really see that in your actual examples. So let's see that what is remaining from this part. We have talked about the git branch, and then generating the branch. I had talked, okay, git checkout and the merge is interesting to do. Yeah, so I think that is already clear that what we have done here. Let's do some more interesting thing, just to do some checkout. Or maybe I will first go with the merge, and then I will do the checkout, because then that would be, I think it would be more interesting. So checkout, what does the checkout means? Means that now I am in the master and I am in this version. So the point is that the checkout means that instead of having in this version of the files, I would like to be in this version, for example, or any other version which I have already the hash file, the hash reference number. Let's check what is happening here. So I had it here the chapter 3 in this one, and also a second line in chapter 1. So let's look at this here. So what has happened in this second commit? I had this second line added. Also, I have added this file chapter3.txt. So now I would like to erase all of these changes, and I go back to my first version, which is here. And this I can do with checkout and giving this hash reference point, and then it's done. Now you see chapter 3 file is not anymore here, and then chapter 1.txt also does not have this line. So what does it mean? It means that I moved back in the time. I moved to the first version which I have, and also when you look at and also you can see here head detached at something here, which is basically the reference to the first, if I'm not mistaken, to the first version or first commit. And what does it mean? I can tell you by looking at the status. You see that also that head detached at here at this number, whatever is that. So what does it mean? It means that we are not at the latest commit of this branch. We are in some commits before the latest one, and that's somehow that the head, which is the latest commit, and the commit that we are right now are not the same. So that's somehow the head is detached from the last one. Let's look at the log. Sorry, I did a mistake. So head is basically the version which we are right now there, and this number refer to the last commit that this branch has. And so basically, as you can see, this is the first message which I added in the last video. So you see that it somehow gives us the hint that we are not in the latest version in this branch, and just to make sure that what we are doing here, to be sure that you are doing correctly. Now the next part is about somehow merging the different things. So let's go to the point here is that if you want to go to the last one or the last commit of this branch, the way that I do, I would go to another branch. I would go, for example, to chapter 1, and then when I go back to the master, I am already at the last I'm already in the last commit. So you see that the head, which is the current commit, is the same as the last. I don't know if there is any better approach, so please leave a comment if you think that there is another approach which I can directly go from the earlier commit to the last commit. I don't know, I didn't find it honestly, and I didn't check a lot about this, that if there is any comment, but anyhow, so this is the way that I do. I go to another branch and I come back to my branch of target, and I see that I will be in the last commit. So let's do some merging. I am very excited to do this. So what does the git merge does? Git merge a specified branch history into the current one. So what does it mean? It means that basically whatever we are or wherever we are bringing another branch to our branch. So let's do it. So git merge and chapter 1. So I would like to bring whatever changes that I made in chapter 1, and I merge them with what I have in here in the master branch. So here it says that there are 2 files has changed. And so chapter 1.1 is something that is new, and the chapter 1.txt, it seems that there is something is added because of this plus. But let's look at the log. Here we are. So you see that this is the 3rd commit that the master has, and it says that this commit is basically the last commit of the master branch as well as the chapter 1 branch. So now the chapter 1 and the master are the same. Both of them has this condition, this stage, this status, and the version which they have is the same version which we had it in the chapter 1. So let's switch to the chapter 1. Switch chapter 1. I did something wrong. Yes. Now we are in the chapter 1, and then let's look at the log. You see, in the chapter 1 also, somehow all the history that we had in the master is also bring. If you remember, in chapter 1 we had only we did only this one, but now they are merged, then all the commits are the same. So let's check the chapter 2, switch, and then look at the log. Oh, sorry, I did something also, again, a mistake here. So when we are generating several branches, each branch are taking all the commits from the previous one. As you can see, the chapter 2 has all the previous commits from the master. Now we added another branch, and now when we merge this to the master, then it will be also having the same. So let's try something crazy and just bring the master to the chapter 2. Let's see if it works. Merge and master. Something is happened here. Let's see what is there. So as I see, this is an environment of the Nano. This is the editor. I really don't have too many experience to working with this, but I think whatever is written here is something that can help me to finish it. But merge branch master into the chapter 2. Please enter a commit message to explain why this merge is necessary, especially if it merged and updated upstream into a topic branch. Line starting with hash will be ignored and an empty message aborted the commit. So it means that you have to add any message here, and this is happening here, if I am not mistaken, is because we are bringing two different branches which they are not having the same initial point. So for example, chapter 1 and the master which I merged, they had the same beginning, and then now it was easy to branch them. But now master and the chapter 1, they have changed to the chapter 1, and now I wanted to add additionally the chapter 2 to it, which is additional commit, because then this is some different, because they have a different references. So now I need to add a message here, especially it is merged. So let's read, especially it is merged and updated upstream into a top branch. Exactly. So that the upstream here, I think that is the chapter 2, and the topic branch I think is the master, but let's see. So I try to say that merging the chapter 2 branch, branch to the, merging the branch, master branch to the chapter 2 branch. It has a different references, or they have different references, and we need to add this message. Okay, now I think that's it. So now let's search for how to save this and exit. So I think this is Control X, save, modified, yes, file name to write, merge message. Okay, let's see what has happened. Git log. Interesting. So we have successfully merged the master to chapter 2, and it says that master is merged to chapter 2. That's our message. And now very interesting, because here it says that what is the last commit of the master in chapter 1, and this is the chapter 2 commit which we had done, and this is how does we merge the master to chapter 2. And let's look at the folder. Here you see that chapter 1 and 1-1, this is part of the master or the chapter 1, and then this is chapter 2-1, which is from chapter 2 branch. This is also something that if you click on the space, it goes till the end, and then I use the Control Z, and then it will finish it. Do you have any other suggestion? Please leave it in the comment. I'm very interested to know what are the possibility to somehow finish this list earlier. Okay, let's see. I think that's good enough for now. It was a little maybe complicated, this merging, but it's very also interesting because now we are separated the topic of the committing or merging when we have two branches which have the same reference, with the cases that we have two branches which their references are different. Nevertheless, we have merged them, and now we see that the chapter 2, which we are here, it has a different history comparing to, if I go to the, for example, chapter 1 and then get the log. So I did see that chapter 1 and master has the same history because they have the same reference, which is basically this commit, and then I just merged them, so it was fine. But after this, then I have this as a reference of my or the status of my master, and then on top of it I wanted to bring the chapter 2, which they have a different references or the starting point of these two branches, and that's why that they had this new commit, which basically is the merging them. Okay, I think that's good for now for this video. I would be very happy if I get your feedback. What do you think about these videos? Leave me a comment. If you're interested, please subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.